a-changin', as they say. Twitter, remember Twitter? So Elon Musk, of course, got Twitter. Good thing about America when someone can have just billions and billions of dollars to go out and help protect the freedom of speech by going out and just buying Twitter. Twitter, which had taken the president of the United States off its platform. I mean, the chaos here, the insanity of all of it is just wild. So anyway, once Elon got Twitter, then it was no go. He slashed 80% of the staff, and there was a lot more allowed on the platform, more breathing room, shall we say. You didn't have to just be so scared of everything and anything. And so Disney got a little jealous. Others got a little bit jealous, and they decided in this cancel culture world, you could just shut it all off. And maybe they could just put Twitter out of business. Elon Musk was not happy, not one bit. I'm going to have to try and be careful with some of the profanity. That's how unhappy he was. Let's take a listen. Elon Musk sitting down when this all went down with CNBC at a conference and calling Bob Iger, the CEO of Disney, out because they were withholding money, withholding advertising from Twitter. There's a happy ending here because they're all coming back. But watch.
Obviously, you know that there's a public perception that, and you're clarifying this now, but there's a public perception that that was part of a apology tour, if you will. That this had been said online. There was all of the criticism. There was advertisers leaving. We talked to Bob Iger today.
I hope they stop.
You hope?
Don't advertise.
You don't want them to advertise?
No.
What do you mean?
If somebody's going to try to blackmail me with advertising, blackmail me with money, go fuck.
But
go.
Okay. You know what he said. You know what he said.
I hope it is. Hey, Bob, if you're in the audience.
well, let me ask you then.
That's how I feel. Don't advertise.
How do you think then about the economics of X? If part of the underlying model, at least today, and maybe it needs to shift, maybe the answer is it needs to shift away from advertising. If you believe that this is the one part of your business where you will be beholden to those who have this view, what do you do?
Why?
Okay, so you get the point, right? So he was willing to go it alone. He fired 80% of the staff. And guess what? Twitter exploded. Twitter's done great. Twitter is where you still get your news and information every day. It's where things break first. You always check Twitter before you check anything else. And so as a result, perhaps of this big shift, of this big change, and this new momentum with a new sheriff in town, guess what? Look who's coming back, okay? Comcast, that would be MSNBC. Disney, IBM, all among the advertisers returning to X after that big ad freeze. They tried to freeze them out, but guess who's in charge now? It's kind of glorious, isn't it? I mean, this is the way it should be. Americans have spoken, and corporate America has to listen up. Well, some people are still kind of angry. People like the former head of, KJP took her place, the former head of the PR staff there at the White House, Jen Psaki, a.k.a. Peppermint Patty. Oh, she's really furious about it. I'll take a listen.
I got started in Democratic politics. You know, most of it was like local TV ads. That was what it was about. Obviously, national TV, local print. Those local TV is held to a higher standard of accountability than social media platforms in terms of having accurate information on their platforms. That is crazy. And so it is, how does it change? How are people held to account? Laws have to change.
Okay, so she wants lots of changes coming up. You know, clearly they just don't trust you as a consumer to get anything right. They do not trust you to be able to figure out anything at all. Somehow it has to be spoon-fed to you after being wiped clean by these mainstream media organizations, and they're going to deliver it to you straight. Yeah, right. I'm sorry. I'm sick of it. I am sick of the legacy media. I'm sick of the nonsense. I'm sick of it from what we see on Wall Street as well. Again, I go back to that day. I don't think the market's down 2,000 points. Are you guys crazy? You know, it's a new day. It's a new era, and there's going to be a lot of opportunity. A lot of opportunity. It's one of the reasons I created 76 Research, 76research.com. You can go there and sign up, or go to Invest in MAGA, investinmaga.com. We have a free guide to how to invest in this new economy. We also have a lot of portfolios, 3 different portfolios. You can get all of them if you sign up for the Founders Club there at 76research.com, or go to Invest in MAGA. At least get the free stuff. Get on the email list so you're understanding and digesting all of these changes that are happening in our economy, because I'm telling you, this is just the beginning. There's going to be a lot technologically speaking, industrially speaking, and it's going to be good for America. I'm excited about it. You know that. I've been excited about it for a while. And, you know, I believe in the markets and America no matter what. I am a patriot above anything else. But I do think that there's going to be some pretty special opportunities ahead, and I want to help you understand that. So we walk through the sectors. We give you some actual names. Go to investinmaga.com. That's my friend Rob Horton, who's my co-founder there at 76 Research. He invested billions of dollars over the years. He ran billions of dollars, I should say, on Wall Street for decades. And we've got them, guys. We've got them. So the research is top tier. And the whole idea here is let's get it out to as many people so as many people as possible can take part in this. Don't let the legacy media, the Bloombergs and the CNBCs, I've worked for both, of the world prevent you from really understanding what's real. So investinmaga.com. I'll tell you this, this is amazing that we're seeing this in real time, this sudden shift. The media who hated Donald Trump, gosh, they couldn't even say his name without Whoopi spitting on The View, is suddenly saying maybe we need to rethink what we're doing. Case in point, ABC brass now scrambling to bring in a pro-Trump voice to The View and other shows. They're in a panic mode. They're in a panic mode because they realize, you know what, ratings suck. Nobody's watching them. And they kind of got to come up with a new shtick. I mean, they can't just bash them for the next 4 years. Viewers aren't there. The country voted for him, not just the Electoral College. Nobody will tell you this on MSNBC or ABC for that matter right now, but also the popular vote. That's a big deal. Donald Trump won the popular vote. So Americans like what he's doing. New article in the New York Post saying ABC News brass, they're in panic mode. They're hunting for conservative voices as we speak in order to balance the rabid anti-Trump rhetoric that is spewed on that network nonstop. So they're looking for someone. I'm going to tell you, you know what, guys? We don't want to help you. We really don't. I mean, any conservative that would go on that show, they're not really a conservative. Oh, you can say we're trying to do our part, get the message out. You got to be some kind of masochistic idiot, frankly, to do that show. I mean, that is one god-awful show. No, we don't need to help them. Let's let them sink. They're going to sink fast. Heck, they're so desperate. They get this lady out there saying she doesn't even want to see family this Thanksgiving because, if anybody voted for Trump, it's unforgivable.
I really do feel that this candidate, President-elect Trump, is just a different type of candidate. From the things he's said and the things he's done and the things he will do, it's more of a moral issue for me. And I think it's more of a moral issue for other people. We're just, I would say it was different when, let's say, Bush got elected.
Oh, please.
You may not have agreed with his policies, but you didn't feel like he was a deeply flawed person, deeply flawed by character, deeply flawed in morality.
Okay, you wonder why the brass is freaking out. She's still continuing with that same line that really didn't get him very far. First of all, it didn't work. Americans voted for Donald Trump. Second of all, their ratings are crashing. So what are they to do? I'll tell you, somebody over at MSNBC is reading the tea leaves a little bit better than they are at The View. You get Joe Scarborough, who amazingly, presto, he was like a new person the day after the election happened. The day before, he's in his schleppy outfit, his hoodie and everything, looking real cash on set, ranting and raving about how only Nazis would vote for Donald Trump. And the next morning, suit and tie like Tucker 2.0, and here he is saying, I'm just a white Southern conservative. I'm sorry, Joe, who are you?
After puberty and competing against women. And I'm not just saying this the day after the election. I've been saying this for years.
No, you haven't.
This is not a hard call. You can show compassion and you can show grace And as the Republican governor of Utah said, let's figure out a way to do this. But one way we don't do this is by allowing men who transition after puberty competing against young girls who have been working their entire lives to be as good as they can be, and then they get destroyed in the pool, on the track, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Oh, silence. Right? So he, again, is better at reading the tea leaves than, say, the Sunny Houstons of the world. Interestingly, Whoopi has been very, very quiet. She's barely said boo. And some of the other hosts said, oh, no, well, we have to see our family this Thanksgiving. Even Ana Navarro's like, oh, but my husband has all these grandkids and we can't not see the grandkids because the parents voted for Trump. Yeah, hello. Joe is no fool. Don't believe any of it. Not for 2 seconds. You can believe this. Viewership. Woo, way down, okay? So it's so bad at MSNBC, it's bad at CNN too, that they're looking at now selling the network. They're trying to spin it off. They want to keep NBC and the streaming side, Peacock, separate from the cable entities, which, let's face it, are just over anyway. Like cable news, dead, 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 dead. Forget network. Cable's dead. This is where it's at. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, all that good stuff. But this is the new medium of the future. And this is where, one, advertisers want to be, because you can actually reach your customers so directly with a very sort of different kind of, mechanism to do it. I mean, here I am. At some point, you're going to hear me talk about my vitamins, which I legitimately take and have legitimately helped my vitamin D levels. But that's a very different thing because you're watching me, right? You trust me, hopefully. It's very different than getting a commercial, which you're going to just fast forward through, or you're going to just not watch altogether because you flip to another channel in mainstream media. So mainstream media is dead for a whole variety of reasons, including the fact that they just keep lying to us.